Yes, now, bless now, do not forget the rest now. Dezrocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in. We're going to continue on with our historical adventure through the highlights, maybe some lowlights of Slayer. Alright, we've had a deke into Hell Awaits, and now we're going to move on to the big heavy hitter. We're going to go into Rain in Blood and the period that surrounded the band around this record. I'm sure we're going to have heaps of information ahead of us. So let's have a little recap of the era prior to Rain in Blood. Let's have a little deke as to where we were last time, okay? Where we at? So Show No Mercy had sold over 40,000 copies, which led to the band returning to the studio to record their second full length. Metal Blade financed the recording budget, which allowed the band to hire producer Ron Fair. Released in '85, Slayer's second length album, Hell Awaits, expanded on the darkness of Haunting the Chapel, with Hell and Satan as common song subjects. The album was the band's most progressive offering, which is quite an interesting statement, I find, featuring longer and more complex song structures. Because they didn't delve too far into prog, but I can see why they would consider it a progressive offering relative to what we've heard in the other, more songwritery-esque elements of, the debut LP. The intro of the title track is a backwards recording of a demonic sounding voice repeated join us, ending with a welcome back before the track begins. The album was a hit, with fans choosing Slayer for Best Band, Best Live Band, Hell Awaits as '85's Best Album, and Dave Lombardo as Best Drummer in the British magazine Metal Force's '85 Readers' Poll. I'll tell you what, when I was in high school and I was really into Slayer, I'd listen to Slayer walking home, and Dave Lombardo purely got me wanting to play drums seriously. Not serious in the realm of I'm going to be a drummer, but I want to be able to play drums because I want to play like Dave Lombardo, because I just absolutely loved his style. You know what I mean? Not overtly complex, just furious titan. You know what I mean? So Rain in Blood, Lombardo's brief hiatus in South of Heaven, which is the era from 1986 to 1989. I've not listened to South of Heaven yet on this channel, so we're going to have a look at Rain in Blood because I have done Rain in Blood now. Following the success of Hell Awaits, Slayer was offered a recording contract with Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin's newly founded Def Jam Records, a largely hip-hop based label. The band accepted, and with an experienced producer and major label recording budget, the band underwent a sonic makeover for their third album, Rain in Blood, resulting in shorter, faster songs with clearer production. What a great combination! The complex arrangements and long songs featured on Hell Awaits were ditched in favour of stripped-down, hardcore punk-influenced song structures. How wild is it that they went from their progressive record to their hardcore punk-influenced record? Def Jam's distributor, Columbia Records, refused to release the album due to the song Angel of Death, which detailed Holocaust concentration camps and the human experiments conducted by Nazi physician Joseph Mengele, the Angel of Death. The album was distributed by Geffen Records on October 7th, '86. However, due to the controversy, Rain in Blood did not appear on Geffen Records' release schedule. That's wild, isn't it? Although the album received virtually no radio airplay, it became the band's first to enter the Billboard 200, peaking at number 94, and the band's first album certified gold in the United States. That is wild. The fact that they weren't getting picked up for that one particular song. Slayer embarked on the... I mean, Rick Rubin is Jewish, right? And we've seen this with Ramones as well, because Ramones had Blitzkrieg Pop, and their manager, who took them on, ended up being a Jewish man. And a couple of people sort of disagreed with, the lyrical content due to the fact it's, quite controversial, right? So we're finding a bit of a parallel here with controversial, you know what I mean? You either love it or hate it, or you fall, somewhere in between. But you have to be quite naive and unaware of the actual context in order for you to sit on the fence with it, unless you're one of them art is art sort of people. And that's what makes good art. You know what I mean? You're gonna annoy some people, but some people are gonna praise you for it. As long as you provoke some sort of emotional reaction, that's what you find, right? Touchy subject, sir. Slayer embarked on the Rain in Pain World Tour with Overkill in the US from October to December. And correct me if Rick Rubin isn't Jewish, actually, because I assumed he was. I've read that he was just in passing by. I didn't think so initially, but Slayer embarked on the Rain in Pain World Tour with Overkill in the US from October to December 86 and Malice in Europe in April and May 87. They also played with other bands such as Agnostic Front, Testament, Metal Church, DRI, Dark Angel, and Flotsam and Jetsam. I've never listened to Flotsam and Jetsam, but I've seen them referenced every once in a while. It's an American thrash metal band that was formed in Phoenix, Arizona in 81. I don't like the name of the band, to be honest. The band was added as the opening act on Wasp's US tour, but just 1 month into it, drummer Lombardo left the band. I wasn't making any money. I figured if we were going to be doing this professionally on a major label, I wanted my rents and utilities paid. Yes, to continue with the tour, Slayer enlisted Tony Scaglione of Whiplash. However, should I listen to Whiplash, people? However, Lombardo was convinced by his wife to return in 87. So, at the insistence of Rubin, Slayer recorded a cover version of Iron Butterflies in Agada Vida for the film Less Than Zero. Although the band was not happy with the final product, Hanneman deeming it a poor representation of Slayer and King labeling it a hunk of shit. It was one of their first songs to garner radio airplay. There we go. That's once you've signed the contract. Go on. It'll be a good idea. Go on, record it. I know it completely contradicts your artistic expression, but just do it, alright? Do it. In late 87, Slayer returned to the studio to record their 4th studio album. Okay, we're not going to read that far because we're not going to go to South of Heaven. We've not been there yet, but we're going to look at a little bit of the factoids in regards to Rain in Blood, alright? Let's see the controversy, the success, and whatever it wants to give us, alright? We've got plenty of information on Rain in Blood. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw that onto another video, alright? We're going to break it into chunks. We're gonna spoon feed you this stuff, alright? Catch you on the flip side.